Okay, now let's assume that a doctor want to attend to a patient. So what doctor just do is let's sign in and say Dr. Fejiro. So you just log in. So once you log in, you just come to clinics, all right? And this is your GOPD and this is your IPD. So let's look at GOPD. So come to GOPD and you see patients, our partner, no patient on ground. So you can add a patient by going to add visit, all right? So you can add the patient name. You can just search for a patient, let's say Blessing. They already registered on the front desk there. Let's say Abiodun Blessing. All right, so you add the patient here, referring patient, referring marketer. You can add it, let's say Odinaka is referring marketer, referring could do, let's say BMC, for example. Reason for visit, you could just say treatment, for example, and then you just proceed. This tutorial shows us simply how a doctor can attend to a patient. So how do you go? Let's log in like Dr. Fejiro. We log in, once you log in, you come to clinic. So let's talk about inpatient doctor. So you come in, there are no inpatient at the moment, you can add a patient, all right. So let's say blessing. Let's say blessing has been registered from the front desk. Let's say building blessing. All right. So what building? City of Hope Medical Center, the first floor or ground floor. So let's say first floor, and let's select a ward. Let's say maybe surgical ward, and then what are the bed? Let's say bed three. All right. So you will just leave all of that alone, and then just proceed. Okay, to admitting this patient. So you see this patient is here, right? So now to continue managing this patient now, you just go on to click more details. Okay, so at more details, you can see the times that the patient have visited this facility. So if you click that view this visit details, the system can attempt to bring out for you or the visiting itinerary of this patient, so you could just exercise a little patient, right, for the system to bring out this patient information. Okay, another thing the doctor can do for this patient is to check when you check the vital sign for this patient. So you see the vital sign for this patient. The doctor can also add a clinical note for this patient. Let's say add new notes. So the doctor can add a note for this patient. Let's say neck pain have been for 3 days. So the doctor can also put a history of complaint for this patient. Can put a history of complaint for this patient, right? Patient complaint for neck pain, right? Stuff like that. Then physical examination, you can put that. You can fill all that CNS and then all of that as a regards patient. So you can the doctor can add the diagnosis for this patient too. If you want to add a diagnosis for this patient, you can put, for example, malaria and pregnancy. You can add as many diagnoses as possible, right? So, and then you can see doctor can set his own plan for this patient. This is the plan for this patient, for example. And then the doctor can order laboratory investigation for this patient as well. So you can search for investigation for this patient. Let's say malaria parasites, for example. This the lab test already exists. Okay, so you can order for malaria for a test, as many tests as possible. Let's say full blood count. You can, so all these tests, all these ordering tests goes to the lab. Then for the radiology, you can also order for an X-ray. Okay, so let's say X-ray for finger, blah blah blah. They're out there. So at the end of the day, you save consultation. So that's what the doctor can do And then okay, it's a note successfully updated. All right, so the doctor can also make prescription for this patient. So there's already prescription here. You can add more prescriptions. All right, so you can click here, list 4 medicines, and you can add more prescription for this patient. I say add. So we can add more. Right, say, okay, start. For example, okay, so to add. So all the prescription you are adding will just be flying up here, all right? So when you are done prescribing, you say done prescribing. Can click here and say start. Okay, then save prescription. So once you save prescription, you see all the prescription for this patient. All these prescription will be available for the nursing to attend to. All right. So if you check medication here, you can see all of those prescription there. Right. You see those 3 prescriptions there. So the doctor can also drop a team note for the doctors regarding this patient for other doctors. So this is how it works. You can add a new note. There's already an existing note there. You can add a new note for all doctors and then write out something you want to write here. New note for all doctors regarding this patient. Alright, so when you are through with that, you can upload a document for them if you want, and at the end you save the report. So all those notes will be available. You see, as many notes that you write will be available for the team. So everyone can log in here and see the notes. Alright, so there are flu chart, oxygen, appointment, and all of that. So basically, these are things the doctor can do for this